Hello and welcome to the Finance News Network. Joining me from oil and gas explorer WHL Energy is Managing Director David Rowbottam. David, welcome back to FNN.
Lelda, thank you very much. And again, it's a great opportunity to speak to yourself and your subscribers.
Now, David, the issue price for the new shares under WHL Energy's recently announced entitlement offer is 1 cent, which is a significant discount to the 20-day volume-weighted average price. How did the company determine the price?
Thank you, Lelda. We were aware that this could happen, and for a small company, the share price often does fluctuate following the announcement of a capital raising and in the lead up to the record date. The pricing was set against the 20-day volume-weighted average price and was in the minimum discount range recommended by the company's brokers. However, management felt the inclusion of the two free attached options was seen as a strong positive and added significant value to shareholders who participated in the rights issue over and above the VWAP discount. Those new listed options seek to reward existing shareholders by providing additional exposure out to the 30th of November 2016 that could see the drilling of both the current assets within their time frame.
Right now, WHL Energy's two key assets are individually worth more than the company's current valuation, leading some to suggest the company is undervalued. How do you rationalise this disparity?
The value of the Seychelles is an interesting proposition, with Ophir committing $75 million for their 25%, technically valuing our 25% remaining at equivalent to $25 million, although Ophir has retained some optionality. It's also interesting to note that we not only expect the first seismic information within the next week, but we also take heart that there has been an application lodged for two new permits of 10,000 square kilometres each, adjoining the shared permit between both Ophir and WHL Energy. As an observation, the recent upgrade to our best estimate prospective resource for Vic P67 project now has the project with in excess of 1 TCF of gas and with 30 million barrels of liquids. When we announced that, it actually saw the share price drop for the day. Given the maths behind the economics of this resource, that would alone value WHL's share even after TAP exercising its own option and ourselves reducing to an equity level of 25% in the permit to still being in excess of 25 million. The company sees the best path forward as trying to drive demand for its shares by probably seeking additional markets and continuing to deliver on our already announced work programs. The current share price, while reflective of demand for small exploration companies, especially those with an African focus on the ASX, I think is at a discount if it was to be listed on a alternative exchange, such as a dual listing through the UK markets. And that is the driver behind the company looking to consolidate its share capital to meet the minimum unit size and give us the opportunity to consider a future dual listing.
Certainly now WHL Energy has two significant milestones approaching, with the decision looming on the La Bella farm-ins and the receipt of the Seychelles 3D seismic data. What led to the company's decision to go to the market to raise new capital at this time?
Several issues, including the need specifically to be funded for the potential election by AWE to become operator, and as AWE starts to plan for the 2015 late drilling in Vic P67, we'll need to be ready to fund our portion of the long lead drilling items. That, and along with our business development program that we've talked about previously as well, were really the rationale behind this small capital raising.
Right, and in your announcement you did allude to the potential to add new assets to the WHL Energy portfolio. Can you provide us with more detail on those potential additions?
Yes, the company has been reviewing several assets in Africa with near-term drilling and production prospects for some months now, most of which are also near existing infrastructure. When Stuart Brown joined the board, he was part of us working towards the prospects of where we were going to go based upon the experiences we'd gained in the Seychelles in terms of the acquisition and value adding. We also think this class of new asset would be the greatest way of assisting the company in preparing for an eventual due listing on another stock exchange such as the AIM.
Okay, now some shareholders have highlighted the company's overhead costs. What can you tell us about the progress being made in this area?
The company has lodged its 3B for the June year end, both for 2014 and 13, and looking at these you can see that the company has continued to restrain overhead or administrative costs across the organisation. This has included some parts of our strategic review, such as combining my role as the Managing Director with the former Finance Director's role, which I also held, and other initiatives to keep general overheads minimised so that we can direct shareholders' funds towards developing just the existing assets and seeking new opportunities.
Great. And finally, David, what is the company's immediate strategy?
Yes, the company has said for some time that its strategy was to continue to grow the business, and in growing the business we need to look at potentially new assets. Part of that will require us, I think, to participate in markets where our shares would be better valued than they are in Australia. So that leads us down to a potential UK listing, and with that demand, it should bring the share price closer to asset valuation, given the large discount we're trading at the moment. But either way, the company needs to take responsibility for its own outcome and can't be just dependent upon prospects with maybe larger companies trying to take advantage of our reduced valuation at the moment.
Okay, well, David Rowbottam, thank you so much for the update on WHL Energy.
Thank you, Lauder, and look forward to speaking to yourself and your subscribers again in the future.